Hi there. Good afternoon, everybody. I want to welcome you here on a Monday night to look back at a classic rock album here on Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. This is a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here to do that. Album that I've chosen for tonight is Steve Miller Band's Fly Like an Eagle. So for those of you who are new, haven't seen this before, basically I take an album that is greater than 15 years old and rates fairly high with me, like a 2.5, a 1, or a masterpiece. Usually that's the condition. This one here, I'm surprised that I haven't done it yet, to be honest with you. This is a guy that I followed a lot when I was in high school. I probably started following him in 1980, like towards the middle of 1980, when I went through that explosion of bands I was listening to. He was one of them. My friend's brother had a greatest hits that I got into, and a lot of the songs on that were on this as well. And so I kind of got into Steve Miller at that time, liked a lot of his stuff quite a bit. But he goes back a little bit further too. So when I was a kid in grade 4, and that my cousins would come over, and they had a couple of songs by him, The Joker being one of them, that kind of introduced me to him early. So when my friend's brother had that album, and I don't even know if I ended up with that album, or I maybe actually bought my own copy. I'm not sure. I had it in cassette as well as vinyl. And yeah, so I kind of, at least the greatest hits I had, both of them, and this one here took a while longer to get. I think I had this in cassette. Anyways, that's kind of where this all started with me. So the album today is Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle. So let me do the technical stuff first. Put my glasses on so I can actually see it. Released May the 15th, 1976. CBS Studios in San Francisco, about 38 minutes or so long, on the Capitol label in the US, Canada, and Japan, and on the Mercury label in Europe. Produced by Steve Miller himself. So appearing, or the personnel on the album, Steve Miller on lead vocals, guitar, keys, sitar, and a little bit of that ARP Odyssey thing going on as well. Lonnie Turner on bass, Gary Malabar, I think that's how you pronounce it, Malabar, on drums. And then you have some additional musicians on this album as well. James Cotton on harmonica, Curly Cook on guitar on tracks 12, Cotton was on track 11. You've got Les Dudick on guitar on track 12, Charles Calames on bass on track 12, Kenny Johnson on the drums on track 12, and John McPhee on the dobro on track number 5. You also have Joaquin Young here on Hammond organ on tracks 2 and 12. So yeah, use of a few people on the album. Solid album. It's an album that probably should be nominated for a masterpiece for me. I don't know why it hasn't been. I just think that it just doesn't come to my mind when I'm getting ready to do my masterpieces, which will be later this month. This will definitely be one of the ones nominated. It would probably be the biggest nomination of all time. I think there's like 20 albums I'm thinking about. But I'm not going to pick 20 albums. I may pick 6 or 7 of them, which is the most I've ever done. Sorry, I got something in my eye all of a sudden. Anyways, I'm going to go over the album. So the album is very kind of, it's got some spacey elements to it, quite a bit of spacey elements to it. Lots of bluesy stuff at times. There's even a little bit of a country feel on a couple of tracks. But primarily a pop album with lots of synthesizers and lots of acoustic guitar stuff. Rhythms. His vocals are very good, and lots of good harmony vocals as well. So I'm just going to break down some of the songs a bit. So it opens up with that kind of spacey intro that you normally get at the beginning of this particular Fly Like an Eagle song, but it's called a space intro. Totally instrumental. Just basically a synthesizer intro that's kind of very spacey, so that's just about it for that. Next up comes Fly Like an Eagle, one of his big tracks, of course. Nice acoustic guitar with a kind of a spacey feel for it throughout the track. The vocals are very kind of harmonizing, a lot of harmonizing vocals throughout here, but pretty clear sounding too. Laid back, catchy, all the stuff that you would come to expect with Steve Miller. He's got a very kind of medium range but memorable voice. It's a catchy melody, nice rhythm section here, and the keys are very catchy and spacey as well. So great opening track. One of my favorite Steve Miller tracks. Probably one of most people's favorite Steve Miller tracks. Next out comes Wild Mountain Honey. Some psychedelic, spacey keyboard stuff going on here again. The vocals are quieter, lower in the mix, but clear as well. Keyboards dominate. There's a little bit of sitar on this as well, which is used quite well to kind of enhance that spacey feel to it. This is a very catchy song, very low key song, but I love it. It's one of my favorites as well. Next track on here is probably my favorite on the album. It's called Serenade, I think. Did I miss one? I did. No, I didn't. Sorry. Serenade is the next track on here. This is probably my favorite track on the album. It's a little bit different, but it's still good. It's got a kind of nice, catchy acoustic guitar part at the beginning, kind of up-tempo, and it drifts a bit. The vocals are really strong. The harmony and lead both catchy as hell. This is a bit of a poppy track, but really well known. It's a kind of want to sing along song. It's probably my favorite on the album, like I said. Next up, we got Dance, Dance, Dance. This has got a kind of a country flavor to it, but it's a pop track with a country flavor to it. Very up-tempoed. Vocals are clear, very memorable. Like I said, that the guitar solo is a little bit on the country-ish. It's almost a slide feel to it. Got a very southern feel to this track. Probably the only track on here that really leans heavily on that side. Next up, we got Mercury Blues. This is a very bluesy beat, kind of a heavy rhythm and bluesy sound to it. Catchy guitar riff. The solo is kind of junky and scattered, but it's good. And the vocals are strong. Yeah, I like that track as well. Next up, so that's kind of the way it was. This is a CD, but on the original album, that was side one. On side two, so normally when you got an album with such a great side, you usually have a drop off on the back side. There is a slight drop off here, mostly towards the end, but overall pretty strong album from top to bottom. Take the Money and Run is next. This one has got that kind of gallopy kind of drum and guitar part going on here throughout the whole song. It's a typical Steve Miller sound, lots of oohs and ahs, if you want to call it. Catchy up-tempo, heavy pop track with some good guitar parts in it as well. I would say there's a little bit of that clapping they use in here to kind of create a little bit of an atmosphere too. So interesting track. I do like it quite a bit. Then there's Rockin' Me, which is one of their big tracks by him as well. Heavy guitar riff with some really strong drum fills here. Catchy, heavy pop beat. That's what you're going to say about this song. Definitely strong, memorable, very melodic, very good melody. Just a strong song. Easily want to sing along with that one. You Send Me, which is a cover from a Sam Cooke song. It's kind of typical of Sam Cooke stuff, kind of a crooning, kind of a ballad-like track. He does. Steve Miller does it well. I think he covers it very good, but it's not identical to the Sam Cooke stuff. He tries to improvise and do his own thing, which is good. It's catchy. The harmony is very strong. Next up is Blue Odyssey. This is a instrumental. It's a very short piece. Basically, it's just a heavy synthesizer sound with some kind of spacey wind stuff going on. and some sped up kind of special effect parts here, but it basically is just an intro into the next track, which is Sweet Marie. Very bluesy harmonica, catchy part. The harmonica actually kind of dominates this track. I don't generally like harmonica. I don't mind it if it's used appropriately for bluesy stuff. At times it's good. I just don't like it when it goes overboard. It's a little bit overboard here, but it's not too bad. Yeah, I would say the vocals are bluesy and heavy as well, and of course the picking dominates this track. It's this kind of bluesy guitar picking track as well. And the final track on the album, which is The Window, this is a low, heavy keyboard sound, almost a psychedelic feel to this track, but it does have a heavy bluesy feel as well. So it's a bluesy psychedelic track. It's okay, not particularly memorable. Of the songs on the album, there's a couple. This one, Sweet Marie, maybe Mercury Blues, a little bit not as good memory. I had forgotten them until I actually did the cover of this song. So excellent album by Steve Miller Band. I would venture to say this is probably their biggest album. I think it was 4 times platinum in the States and a couple times platinum here in Canada. Maybe gold or platinum in the UK as well. But primarily it did very well here on the North American side of the pond. And so, yeah, great album. I like it a lot. I highly recommend it if you want that kind of, I was going to say that country feel, but it definitely isn't. Some people try to sometimes lump Steve Miller in with those southern rock bands because he occasionally does that country track. But generally speaking, I kind of think of him fitting better with the Beach Boys and the stuff on the West Coast, because I think that's where he primarily is from. So, yep, that's my choice for today. Steve Miller's Fly Like an Eagle album, released back in 1976. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Look Back at a Classic Rock Album. If you want, you can hit the like and subscribe. That helps the channel. If you want to make any comments about this album or about Steve Miller or about anything in particular to the video, you can do that as well. And we will be back next Monday night with another look back at yet another classic rock album. Take care, have yourself a good evening, and goodbye.